The hallway behind the America's Got Talent stage buzzes with noise. Camera crews rushing past, contestants warming up their voices, nervous families whispering prayers. But in the far left corner, away from the chaos, stands a thin, soft-spoken Filipino teen named Lucas Ramirez, clutching an old silver microphone charm in his right hand. The charm isn't shiny anymore. Its edges are worn, the metal slightly scratched, but Lucas holds it as gently as if it were made of glass. It was the last birthday gift from his father, a man who used to sing him to sleep with Elvis songs while strumming a beat-up guitar. His father's voice had been warm, deep, full of joy. Lucas had grown up listening to it every night. But now, the charm is all he has left. At 15 years old, Lucas has learned to live in silence, not because he doesn't have a voice, but because he's afraid of using it. For years, he sang only behind closed bedroom doors. At school, classmates teased him for being too quiet, too gentle, or too emotional. Every time he tried speaking up in class, his voice cracked from nerves. So he stopped trying. His world grew smaller, quieter, safer, but his father's voice never left him. Even after his father passed away, Lucas found himself humming Elvis songs whenever he felt scared or lonely. He poured every sadness into the lyrics, every hope into the melodies. Music became the only place he felt alive. And that's what brought him here, AGT. But as he stands backstage, surrounded by bright lights, giant screens, and thousands of people, he wonders if he made a mistake. "Lucas," a producer calls softly, looking down at a clipboard. "You're next." The boy nods, but his knees weaken instantly. His palms turn sweaty. He squeezes the microphone charm so tightly the metal digs into his skin. His mother, Althea, steps forward. She's a small Filipino woman with tired eyes and a smile that tries to stay brave. She brushes a strand of hair from Lucas's forehead. "Anak," she whispers, her voice trembling with emotion. "You don't have to be perfect. Just sing with your heart." Lucas stares at her. For a moment, the noise of the backstage fades. All he hears is her heartbeat, her fear disguised as encouragement, and the love she has carried alone since his father died. But what if... His voice cracks before he can finish. His mother places a comforting hand on his cheek. "What if they don't like me?" he finally whispers. "Oh, Lucas," she says, pulling him into a warm embrace. "You are singing for your father, not for them." He breathes in deeply, smelling her familiar perfume, coconut and jasmine. The scent calms him just enough to steady his hands. As they pull apart, another contestant walks by, a group of breakdancers cheering loudly, hyping each other up. Lucas watches them with a mixture of admiration and intimidation. He feels so different from everyone else, so small, so invisible. The stage manager gestures again. "It's time." Lucas swallows hard. His heart thuds like a drum in his chest. His mother squeezes his shoulders. "Close your eyes if you get scared," she tells him, "and imagine your dad is right there in the front row, just like he always wanted." Lucas nods shakily. He steps forward toward the massive black curtains. The noise of the crowd leaks through, clapping, cheering, the echo of the host speaking into the mic. It feels unreal, like he's walking into a dream he accidentally stepped into. A young assistant crouches beside him, adjusting his mic pack. "You okay?" she asks kindly. Lucas hesitates, then quietly answers. "I think so." She smiles. "You're gonna do great, I can feel it." He forces a small, shy smile back. The floor beneath him trembles from the bass of the previous performance. The lights flash rhythmically, signaling the judge's ready state. Above him, he can see glimpses of the giant AGT sign glowing bright red and blue. Everything is loud, massive, overwhelming. He locks his eyes on one thing, the charm in his hand. He whispers, "Dad, be with me." Then something unusual happens. As he steps closer to the curtain, he suddenly hears a faint melody in his mind, his father's voice singing softly like a memory playing through his bones. "Wise men say, only fools rush in." The lyrics echo inside his chest. His breathing steadies. His legs grow less shaky. His fingers loosen around the charm. The assistant pulls back the curtain. The lights hit him like a tidal wave. Lucas blinks rapidly. The theater is enormous. The biggest place he has ever seen. Thousands of faces blur together in the darkness, while the stage shines like a golden sun. The judge's table glows in the center, Simon Cowell, arms folded. Heidi Klum leaning forward with interest. Sofia Vergara already smiling. Howie Mandel giving a small wave. Lucas's breath catches. He is standing exactly where millions dream of standing. A shy boy who sings in secret. Now facing the world's most famous stage. The host's voice booms behind him. Good luck, Lucas. He takes one step forward. His shoes make a soft tapping sound on the polished floor. The sound feels too loud, too real. He reaches the center of the stage. The microphone stands there, tall and intimidating. He slips his fingers along the cool metal, feeling its weight, its power. Simon lifts his gaze and raises an eyebrow. What's your name? Lucas tries to speak, but nothing comes out. He clears his throat, takes a breath, and forces a whisper. Lil Lucas. And how old are you? Simon asks. F-15. A ripple of soft, supportive awe sounds from the audience. What will you be doing for us today? Simon continues. Lucas swallows. A tribute. To my dad. For a moment, the theater becomes completely silent. Simon nods, gently this time. All right, Lucas. The stage is yours. Lucas closes his eyes. He wraps his hand around the charm. He sees his father smiling at him. He hears his mother's voice saying, just sing with your heart. He breathes in, and everything fades except the music inside him. He is ready. Lucas Ramirez steps forward, each step feeling heavier than the last. The AGT stage is massive. Far bigger, far brighter, far louder than anything he has seen in his life. The lights are blinding, the audience is endless, and the judge's table stretches out like a row of giants waiting to evaluate his soul. Lucas's fingers tremble around the microphone. He can hear his heartbeat pounding like a drum inside his chest. It feels like everyone in the world is watching, even though it's only a few thousand people in the room, and millions more who will eventually see what happens here. Sofia is the first to smile, warm, motherly, reassuring. How old are you, sweetheart? She asks. I'm 15, Lucas replies, voice soft but respectful. Heidi leans forward with curiosity. You look nervous. Don't worry, we're nice, she laughs. The audience chuckles, except Simon. Simon doesn't laugh. He stares at Lucas the way he does when he's trying to read someone before they open their mouth. Arms folded, eyes narrowed, studying every detail. Lucas tries not to look at him, but Simon's expression is impossible to ignore. It's not mean, it's not rude, it's just unreadable. Howie speaks up next. What made you decide to audition for America's Got Talent? Lucas swallows, trying to gather courage. My dad always told me to follow my voice, even when no one believed in me. He passed away last year. So, I'm here for him. The entire theater goes silent. Soft murmurs ripple through the audience. Sofia puts a hand over her chest. Heidi's eyes soften. Simon tilts his head. Interest sparked. And what will you be singing? Simon asks quietly. Lucas takes a breath. This is the line he practiced again and again, but saying it here feels different. Heavier, a tribute song, for my dad. A wave of emotion hits the room like a gentle breeze. People who were munching popcorn put it down. Someone whispers, "Ah." Another whispers, "Let him be good, please." The stage manager gives a nod. The lights dim. A slow, soulful Elvis-style instrumental begins to play. Deep, classic, emotional. It fills the room, but the real moment hasn't happened yet. Lucas closes his eyes, completely shuts out the world. For a second, it's just him, the microphone, and the memory of his father teaching him how to sing by using their old karaoke machine in their tiny apartment in Manila. He remembers the nights they stayed up practicing harmonies. He remembers his father's voice telling him, "Anak, your voice will take you places I never reached." Lucas inhales. Then, the first note leaves his mouth. A single note. Pure, clear, full. A note that absolutely does not belong to a small, shy 15-year-old boy. The entire audience gasps. It happens in milliseconds. A woman in the second row covers her mouth. A man in the balcony stands up instinctively. A teenager drops her phone. A producer backstage whispers, "Holy, did you hear that?" The camera cuts to the judges. Sofia's jaw falls open. Heidi's eyebrows shoot up. Howie leans forward like someone just punched the wind out of him. But Simon freezes. His eyes go wide. He suddenly sits straighter, focusing intensely, as if he needs to make sure he actually heard what he thinks he heard. It's the kind of reaction Simon Cowell gives when he witnesses something rare, something unbelievable. Lucas keeps singing, unaware of the chaos he just created. His voice deepens, becoming rich and velvety. A stunning mix of Elvis Presley's signature tone blended with pure Filipino soul and emotion. His vibrato hits effortlessly, rolling like waves across the theater. Every lyric feels meaningful, every breath feels intentional. He opens his eyes for the first time since the song began. They glisten with tears. The spotlight catches them, making them shine like tiny stars. And suddenly, the entire audience is silent. Not a cough, not a whisper, not a movement. Just complete, absolute silence, because everyone senses this moment is special. Lucas raises his chin slightly and leans closer to the microphone, letting his voice carry deeper into the room. The emotion pours out of him in layers: grief, love, longing, hope. His father's memory fuels every note. The second verse begins, and Lucas's voice unexpectedly grows even stronger, bigger, wider. It fills every corner of the theater, soaring above the lights, echoing against the walls. People in the audience begin wiping tears. A mother hugs her daughter. Someone whispers, "He's incredible." Someone else mutters, "Where did that voice come from?" Behind the judges' table, Simon blinks hard, like he's trying to snap himself out of shock. Eventually, he leans toward Heidi and whispers something, but it's inaudible to the crowd. Heidi nods, eyes still locked on Lucas. By the time Lucas reaches the emotional bridge, the audience is already halfway on their feet, unable to contain themselves. His voice breaks, but in the most beautiful, intentional way possible. It's the kind of break that only true artists can pull off. Then comes the moment that changes everything. Lucas grips the mic, steps forward, and belts out a high, soaring note that fills the entire auditorium like a thunderclap. It's smooth, powerful, clean, and absolutely stunning. The audience erupts. People jump to their feet. Screams explode across the theater. Hands shoot into the air. The applause is deafening. The camera cuts to Simon. His eyes are wide. His mouth is open. His face says one thing: this kid is not normal. This is different. This is historic. And as the applause continues shaking the room, Lucas stands frozen on stage, tears rolling down his cheeks, because for the first time in his life, he realizes he didn't just sing well. He shocked the world. The final chorus approaches, and every eye in the AGT theater is locked on Lucas Ramirez. Thousands of people stand suspended in the moment, breaths held, hearts pounding, waiting to see how this shy Filipino teen will finish the performance that has already shaken the room. Lucas grips the microphone tighter. His hands tremble, not from fear anymore, but from something new: confidence, embers of belief, a spark he has never felt this strongly before. The music softens for a split second, a brief heartbeat of silence, and then Lucas launches into the last high note. It isn't just loud, it isn't just powerful, it is pure, emotional lightning, clean, piercing, controlled, and overflowing with the kind of raw brilliance that only comes from a place of genuine love and pain. The note explodes across the auditorium. The audience roars. People scream, shout, cry, shake their heads in disbelief. Several fans press both hands to their chest, as if physically struck by the sound. The camera cuts to the judges. Heidi gasps and grabs Sophia's arm. Sophia rises from her seat with her mouth open. Howie slams his hand on the desk like he just heard the impossible. And Simon doesn't move. At first, he is frozen, still trying to compute what he just heard. Then, almost in slow motion, Simon pushes back his chair and stands. He doesn't clap. He doesn't smile. He simply stands there, eyes locked on Lucas, face showing a rare combination of shock, admiration, and awe. Lucas holds the note until the very last breath in his chest escapes, and as the final vibration fades into the air, the entire theater erupts like a volcano. People jump, cry, hug strangers. The applause is thunderous, rolling and crashing like waves. Lucas stands there, chest rising and falling, tears spilling down his face. He doesn't even know what to feel. The moment overwhelms him. He covers his mouth with his hand shaking uncontrollably. Backstage, his mother collapses into a chair sobbing. hands pressed together, thanking God, thanking the moment, thanking the courage her son found on this stage. The hosts rush to hold her as she cries, "That's my boy, that's my boy." The judges' reactions. As the audience begins to settle, barely, the judges begin to speak. Heidi is first. She leans forward, eyes wide, breath shaky. "Lucas, I don't even know if you understand what you just did. That voice, that emotion. You don't sing like a 15-year-old, you sing like someone who has lived 1,000 lives." The crowd cheers loudly. Sophia wipes her tears with her fingers, shaking her head in disbelief. "You touched every single heart in this room. I felt your dad in every note. This wasn't just singing, this was your soul speaking." The audience awes and claps again. Howie stands, pointing dramatically at Lucas. This is why this show exists. To find voices that we didn't even know the world needed. You didn't just surprise us. You shook the entire planet." The applause grows stronger. Then all eyes shift to Simon Cowell. He sits silently, still, studying Lucas with an expression almost never seen on his face, something between pride and astonishment. He leans forward, presses the button on his mic and speaks slowly. "Lucas." The room goes completely quiet. That was not just a good audition. That wasn't great or amazing or any of the usual things people say. He pauses. The silence is heavy. Then Simon continues, "What you did was historic." The crowd explodes into cheers, screams, stomping, everyone completely losing control. Lucas breaks down again, covering his face. His knees wobble. Simon continues, louder now. "In all my years on this show, I have never seen someone so young deliver something so emotionally powerful and so technically perfect. That voice, that heart, everything about that performance is unforgettable." Sophia nods, clapping passionately. Heidi holds her heart. Howie raises both arms like he's praising the heavens. Simon sits back, but his hand slowly moves toward the one thing everyone is waiting for, the golden buzzer. The golden buzzer moment. The crowd senses it. People scream. People chant. Some shout, "Do it, Simon?" Some scream Lucas's name over and over. Lucas stares at Simon, hyperventilating, shaking his head as if to say, "No, no way, no, this can't be real." Simon lowers his eyes for a moment, thinking, then he looks directly at Lucas. "You deserve this." And then, bam! Simon slams the golden buzzer with both hands. The theater explodes. Golden confetti blasts from the ceiling like a waterfall of light. The music swells into the iconic golden buzzer anthem. People scream so loudly the cameras shake. Lucas collapses to his knees, gripping the stage floor, crying uncontrollably. He tries to breathe, but the moment is too powerful. His mother rushes from backstage, running through the falling gold, tears streaming down her face. She throws her arms around him, both of them sobbing into each other's shoulders. Simon walks onto the stage, clapping slowly, smiling warmly, not the sarcastic smile, but a real one. He places a hand on Lucas's shoulder. "That was unbelievable. Your father would be so proud of you." Lucas cries harder, burying his face against his mother. The hosts join them, hugging, celebrating, lifting Lucas up through the shimmering gold rain. The audience is still screaming. People are recording, some are crying, everyone knows. They just witnessed a moment that will be replayed, reposted, and remembered for years. The final image is Lucas Ramirez standing center stage, covered in gold, crying into the microphone as he whispers, "Thank you, Dad. This was for you." The screen fades to black.